Well, the yard is almost empty. Just got a little bit more garbage here to remove. Still have the 16-horse engine sitting there. Never did anything with it. A couple spare tires to get rid of. Anyway, today I'm going to work on the 400EX. Had some wiring issues with the wiring harness and the headlights and stuff. Wiring harness ended up being pretty well green. So, long story short, I'm going to be getting her going today. Well, starting to anyway. I got some new parts here. First thing I'm going to do is give it a pressure wash because it needs it. It's still covered in mud from the mudding video. It was fully running, everything perfectly fine after that. It's just the headlights were shorting out. So anyway, I guess I'll give it a good wash. I noticed I forgot to disconnect or connect the airbox there, so hopefully nothing crawled inside it. I know the airbox isn't really hooked up, so I gotta make sure before I crank it that nothing crawled into the carburetor, shit like that. I'm gonna pull out the pressure washer, give it a good clean, and I guess start working on it from there. So these back tires are flat and starting to get pretty dry rotted, so I'm probably going to ditch them, buy a new set. Buddy of mine's finally back in town. He was working on oil rigs for a while, so he's back, so I'm going to try to get it going so we can go quadding on Saturday, so keep you guys up to date. I'm also going to try to put on an exhaust tip. I don't have anything with it, and it's pretty much just straight into there, so I'm going to cut that apart and see if I can make something a little bit better, because I'm kind of too cheap to buy an aftermarket exhaust, because I don't really need performance. It's a trail quad, so. Okay, so I just gave her a quick coating of tire shine. So yeah, I use that to clean almost any kind of greasy engine. It takes the dirt off pretty nice, and it's a lot cheaper than an engine cleaner. I let it sit now for about 15 minutes, and now I'm going to spark up the pressure washer now for the first time this year. I know a lot of people like goof starts like that. I don't know why. So on antique engines I can understand it, but this one here is just a freaking pressure washer. So see if she's going to go first time. Got this at Princess Auto for 75 bucks. Anything with a prime normally starts up pretty easy. Talking about prime, better prime to one. If you start it up with air in there, you can blow off the line pretty good. That's freaking way too easy. Okay, so I just got it up on the jack, verified no water got into the carb. Choke was shut, so that's good. Anyway, I guess I'll start by adjusting the valves. So I gotta remove the gas tank, adjust the valves, but mind you, it doesn't really have enough hours on it to need adjusting, I don't think yet, but they had a little bit of a noise to it. So I gotta decide, I might do that, I might not. I know I gotta get a new overflow line for the carb. There's a few other things I need to get done. I know I should be technically working on a racing tractor here, but I haven't really done anything. Just started doing my supports for the side bearings on it. That's pretty much it. Still got the V-twin sitting up there. So I want to get this done, hopefully for Sunday or maybe next weekend. Go do a little bit of riding. Seeing my buddies in town for about a month, so keep you guys up to date as I go along. I got my aluminum airbox sitting here. So that's going to be going on it. Bought that off eBay. I think it cost 150 bucks or so. And I got all my other parts, which I'll show you guys in probably a few minutes. Okay, so one more thing I thought I'd mention about this. The reason why the motor is black, for one, is the guy I was originally rebuilding the motor for, which ended up backing out and kind of ended up backing out of the repairs. So I ended up keeping it for myself. So long story short is what I built on this motor. You can actually go back, check out my YouTube videos. I really didn't touch anything to do with the entire frame. I just strictly did the motor, added the twist throttle on it. I'm changing airbox. and a few other little things. But basically, when I got this motor, it had compression, but barely. The piston skirt exploded, is the easiest way to explain it, which took out some transmission gears and a few other things. So I actually had to split the cases, clean it. I sandblasted all the cases, sandblasted it, rebuilt the head, bored it over with a new cylinder because the actual skirt on the cylinder was broken. But when I bought this machine, the guy actually had a parts motor. So basically, I went through the entire motor, cracked the crate cases, changed all the not all the bearings, but quite a few of the bearings in the bottom end. Easiest way to explain it is I just completely went through the motor, changed what had to be done. I was going to sell the quad, but then I kind of decided to keep it. I'm guessing, I'm looking at these tires here, they're dry rotted and both flat, so lots of tread left on them, but going to buy new. They're a little bit too tall for what I want. I want to go something a little bit more low profile, kind of like what I'm using on the racing tractor there, but those are 10-inch, I believe, so they're not going to fit these rims. Otherwise, I'd just switch them over, because these would be great for the tractor, but because I could just toss tubes in them or just slime them, because they still hold air, just only for about a week. So yeah, I'm going to readjust the valves, even though I don't know if it needs it yet. I might actually wait, get it running. I got a brand new wiring harness, brand new headlight bulbs, brand new regulator rectifier. The stator might need to be changed. Not too sure. Basically, when I started looking at why the battery was dying and it wasn't charging proper, it's all to do with the headlights that the old owner jerry-rigged up some 100-watt halogen bulbs on it. And again, I never looked over the machine, so I never thought anything about it. But he burnt the wiring all throughout the wiring harness. So I did start changing it. I had it where it was charging fine, but then I started seeing green, other hillbilly stuff, and I just tore the wiring harness apart. Was going to rebuild it, but just spent $100 and bought a brand new one. So anyway, for the motor rebuild, I got quite a few videos on my YouTube page about it, so you can go back, look at that. And other than that, I guess I will show you guys once I got, I guess, the head. Maybe I'll show you how to adjust the valves on it. So it's the same as almost any bike, any 4-stroke. The older 4-strokes, it doesn't have the shims or anything. Yeah, maybe I'll toss that in the video. So anyway, get back to you guys, I guess, in a bit. And the one thing I've been thinking of since I bought this quad, because it had a blown motor and the rest of it looked good, is I was always having the idea of making it a hybrid. Because right there is a 500cc, I guess could be close to 60-70 horsepower when I'm done, 2-stroke. So that's a 500cc 2-stroke LT500R Quadzilla engine from a mixture of 88 and 87. So, but I still got that quad from that machine. It's just actually some of it's here, some of it's not, some of it's at the other house, and yeah. Anyway, I was always thinking that motor would fit so nice in here, make it a Honda Suzuki hybrid, but I was just thinking maybe I'd find an LTR or whatever the hell it's called, LTZ, whatever, frame instead of mixing it with a Honda. So, but I was also having an idea of putting a 250R motor in this, or any kind of 2-stroke, because I'm a big 2-stroke fan. I'm not too big of a fan of 4-strokes, but you know, I'll work with pretty much anything. One more thing I thought I'd mention, I also got a set of Nerf bars here, but I need to weld them in one spot. It's actually on the steel brackets here for the foot pegs. And I also got a 6-pack rack, but I don't know how that's going to fit because it just doesn't look like it's from the quad, so I might be tossing those back on. My chainsaw hoard's pretty much the same as before, same with my engine hoard. So, 16 horsepower down there, big cast iron brakes, same as the one sitting outside. Here's all my engine parts that I have spare for that quad. So, got a cylinder head, that, I got a set of crankcases, a bunch of other stuff, pressure washer components in here. So, yeah, I got a bunch of spare parts for the quad. There's a carbon fiber hood for it right here. Yeah, just a real carbon fiber hood, but it's pretty well destroyed in my opinion. It's chewed up, it's beyond repair. Just keeping it for whatever. There's a set of fenders there. The other one's somewhere in this hoard pile, so so I got lots of spare parts for it, so just got to decide what I want to do. And as for the Sears Suburban 16, everything's good on it, so I'm just going to be removing the snowblower now. Probably do that later on tonight. Just remove the snowblower, put it in the shed for the winter, or the shed for the summer, I mean. So there's that other 16 horsepower. So anyway, this is just going to be a general update video. Just threw on the fender real quick. The other fender's up on top of the desk. So anyway, I guess I'll start installing the wiring harness. And sweet, just got my warranty replacement. Sent back my Leatherman Model CS multi-tool. I think it was CS, Skeletool. Sent it back, I guess probably about, it would have been Friday in the mail, and I just got my replacement. So that was freaking quick. So I was using my pliers on a carburetor screw, and they actually snapped. I was squeezing pretty hard, mind you, but oh man, this one's stiff. I have to grab it with two hands here. Just give me a second here. Yeah, that's a lot stiffer than my other one. I snapped it right across here. So I don't know if I have any pictures of it when I snapped it, but yeah, I was just grabbing a screw to adjust the carburetor and snap. So yeah, it could have been cracked from before, but man, looking at this one versus the one I had for about 2 years, there is some changes here. I see nothing too major, but that's still aluminum there. So, but the thing is, with my old one, I actually sandblasted the entire knife. So this is just a cheaper model. Has the blade here. I actually filed down this right down, so I didn't have the saw blade here, just a tip. I sandblasted the entire thing, and they still took it back. No questions asked. Got a new one within a week. So sweet. So saves me having to carry this crap on me here. So I can get rid of this one. So this one here was what the hell was this one here? I don't even know what knife this was, but I was using this one here as a replacement one at work, so I won't need that anymore. Okay, so back to working on this. Just took a break, went for supper. Anyway, so this is aluminum Airbox. I'll try to edit in the text if I can remember who made it, but it was a company on eBay. It's a factory style that still uses the factory snorkel. So I'm not sure if I'm going to hook it up. I might just leave it just like this and then run it up to the top. I'm not too sure. So I might just go, straight from here, straight up to here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it running up and under the gas tank like it used to. So I already got that all siliconed in place, locked in place. The lid's right there. Yes, this one uses a lid. Battery goes inside here too. I already have my rubbers there to hold the battery, which are actually starting to fall off. The stickiness is kind of falling, or yeah, what's to say, old sticky rubber stuff. Anyway, here's my battery. It's a Durabat. Oh gee, that sounds like a good brand name, hey? Anyway, it's a gel battery. So it's a gel AGM battery. So it has the steel, I guess that's kind of a steel post. It's not a, it's kind of weird. It's not the thick aluminum or thick lead like you'd expect it to be. So anyway, that's the battery I'm going to be using. Outer wears K&N air filter sock for the filter, because it's just a standard K&N. Doesn't have a filter skirt on it, or a pre-filter, whatever you want to call it. Brand new regulator rectifier. So that is brand new. Oops. Oil filter. 2 light bulbs for the headlights because they were missing, and a brand new wiring harness. Haven't even taken it out of the bag yet, so yeah. So I'll pop this open here and start putting it on. Started from scratch, at least with a brand new wiring harness. I know if I have any other problems after this to change the stator. Now I know a lot of people are thinking, well, why didn't you just use a multimeter? My old wiring harness, every one of these connectors here were loose. The clips were broken. They were corroded, or they were actually melted. So it was just at the point that I just wanted to change it. So this one here, brand new, nice and clean. Hoping I'm not going to have any other issues for the whole time I own this quad. So anyway, I guess I'll start throwing on some parts and get back to you guys in a bit. Check that out, nice and shiny and brand new. So have to get some dielectric grease in there, that's for sure. This is the starter relay, I'm guessing, or not the relay, starter diode. I'm guessing that's what's inside there. Can't actually remember, but I'm pretty sure this thing uses a diode on the starter circuit, like most machines do anyway. But you can see here how this is, well, you can't really see, that's dielectric grease in there. But you can see on the one prong, it's not really focusing. You can see it's a little bit burnt in there. But that's what I'm thinking. I might have to cut this end, change it. But I'm going to try it the way it is first, see what kind of luck I have with it. A little bit of my paint here starting to peel off, so it's not too bad. As you can see, I could continue washing this thing down forever. There's a lot of dirt still on it. So, of course, I didn't want to soak it too much because I didn't want any water in the carb. So, anyway, I'll start laying down my wiring harness and hopefully have her running by tomorrow morning. And right there is what's left of my old wiring harness. And almost got her back together. Just taking a little bit of a break right now. You don't need to watch porn, Dad. Turn it off. Turn it off. I'm making my update video. I hear that from here. Anyway, kind of got a little bit lazy here. Got everything pretty much all done in here. Wiring here, I'm actually not going to use this bracket that came with to cover up the wiring. I'm going to use a big piece of loom across here. I think it'll look a little bit better with loom instead of this, because this here, if I ever have to get to my wiring harness in a hurry, I got to unbolt it. So, kind of thinking this is going to be a better idea. I don't even really need loom technically. I can just zip tie everything together and it will most likely be fine. This is just loose right now. So, I should leave that out of there. Make sure it doesn't touch the ground or touch the positive terminal, because the battery is hooked up right now. Got my negative around the corner there. Positive's all hooked up. Got my key switch here, which still trying to figure out why this neutral safety switch here doesn't work proper. There we go. I am going to be bypassing these switches, so I give up. There we go. Huh. Anyway, I got the coil wire off because I do not want it to start. I just wanted to make sure I had spark and everything, which I do. Got the Airbox pretty much all ready. Just got to put back on the regulator, which I did decide to use the brand new one because I bought it. Other than that, I got to just kind of tidy that up a bit better. Got to mount my CDI unit here. Hook up my headlights. I'm going to have a separate push to start button and a separate kill switch button. I'll probably put the starter button here, kill switch button here, and a separate headlight button. So I might even drill it into the front fender somehow. I'm not too sure yet. And other than that, I still need to adjust the valves, but I might just hold off on that and do it maybe next month. Not too sure yet, because I am in a hurry to get this done for Sunday. So, and that doesn't give me much more time. So anyway, this is the way I'm leaving it for today. It's a little bit too late to finish working on it, and yeah. Okay, got her on. Did you see all the leaves? fly out of it. Okay, so I got the multimeter hooked up, and it's sitting at 12.94. Go, fixed. Next thing to do is cut off that ugly exhaust. Okay, there you go. All together, wiring's done. I just need to do a starter switch. I got something kind of jerry-rigged up as a temporary switch. Ready to go for a test drive in the morning. Yes, it's meant to rain. That's why I got my rain suit sitting there. All I gotta do, I guess, is fill the tires, add gas because it's virtually right out, and yeah, give it a little bit of a test spin.